They have done it again. The left has created another hilarious pipeline that by creating this pipeline, they will end up being the ones to send more people to the right because of just how crazy and radical they sound. The newest one is called Taylor Swift to Conservative Pipeline. Yes. Now, whether you love or hate Taylor Swift, from a purely political standpoint, I find this conversation currently unfolding online to be absolutely hilarious. And to highlight that, here is the big video that has been seen around the internet.
Taylor Swift is handing the conservative agenda on a silver platter to the masses. I'm gonna rapid fire this as fast as I can so that my video is not an hour long, but we're gonna start with the rollout of the album, the announcement of the album on our boyfriend's football podcast. Our boyfriend who plays for the NFL, who we are now aligning our brand with, who is one of the most racist and problematic industries in our country.
That was the first place that I just needed to stop this. She's saying that the NFL is the most racist and problematic industries, businesses in the country. That comment is just so hilarious and inaccurate for a myriad of reasons. But number one, because the majority of the players in the NFL are African American. The majority. So that being the most racist and problematic, what, how? Do tell. Again, laughable. But she's aligning herself with the brand that is the NFL, and the NFL is bad, which makes Taylor bad. I mean, again, it's like following this pipeline is very difficult, as you will see, but again, hilarious. And I do also want to note, this video currently has 588,000 likes, just on TikTok alone. So people are in agreement. You don't just like it to like it. These people agree. So many people have seen this and actually agree. So this isn't just some fringe comment from some random girl.
Listen, I don't know how long Taylor Swift's been doing this, but I know it's been a pretty good amount of time. She's worked pretty hard for her career. But why are we sharing what you are saying is the best piece of work you've ever put out and you're gonna share it with a man?
Oh, she's talking about when she announced the podcast? She's gonna share it sitting next to her husband on her husband's podcast? Her first ever podcast appearance everywhere. I feel like that warrants a big announcement. That's okay. Again, the phrasing of this is so symbolic of how women have referred to men and family for decades at this point. That has gotten us to this point where this is not a fringe idea. But her saying, with the man, it's her fiance. It's going to be her husband. So not just some random man. And if it was, that's okay. She's allowed to do that. But again, speaking about him like he's just some man, oh, how dare she? She's going to be married to said man. They're going to be one soon. So, gosh, the dialogue here is crazy to me.
We are creeping our way down the conservative pipeline.
We're creeping our way. We're going. Taylor Swift is not a conservative. That's the most comical part of this. She hasn't suddenly become one either. There has been no indicators as a conservative viewing her that she's suddenly become some enlightened conservative. She hasn't. Again, most conservatives disagree with Taylor Swift and her whole optics, especially as a Christian, on a lot of things. So I'm not even defending Taylor. I'm just defending the fact that, frankly, that she's not what her now liberal leftist thinks she is. I mean, it's so funny.
And before you say that's a reach, I'm not done.
Oh, we know you're not done. It goes for 6 minutes.
They got engaged as a package deal with the album rollout. Yes, they did. The album was announced, and 1 day later, 2 days later, it was announced that they were engaged. We could talk about how manufactured that is. We could talk about how inauthentic it is. We could also talk about how it is yet another step towards the conservative pipeline.
How? Because she got engaged? Keep digging yourselves in your own holes. It's wild.
Now, if you're unaware about her history with the Orange Man, he didn't like her very much. He, in all caps, I hate Taylor Swift. She's a childless cat lady.
Yeah, Vance called her a cat lady, not Trump. Trump just said, I hate Taylor Swift one day. And then one day he's like, I love Taylor. I take that with a grain of salt. The random all caps tweets that Trump occasionally says about like random pop stars.
But once this engagement happened, we had a public statement put out by Pumpkin Man.
It wasn't some public statement put out by him. A reporter in a very serious interview randomly asked, so Taylor just got engaged. What are your thoughts, Trump?
Well, I wish him a lot of luck.
And so off the cuff, he's like, oh, happy for her. That's great. Marriage. That's all. It wasn't some like they put out this press release and suddenly Trump is Team Taylor. Again, the spinning of this to fit a narrative that is not even correct is really wild to unpack.
And he said, wow, Taylor Swift, you know what? She's a great person. She's a terrific person even. And I'm very happy for them. I wish them best in their marriage.
Wow. Oh, how dare he wish someone the best in their... It's not an endorsement of her.
Now, I'm not claiming that Taylor Swift can control what that man says or that they are partnering in these words. No, I'm not saying that. But
Then why say
the
that?
U.S. has a history of using pop culture to further a political agenda.
Which pop culture is successfully doing in her direction, in this direction.
She's doing what he wants everyone else to do, is to get married and have white babies.
She adds white babies there. No, conservatives want Americans to get married and have children, regardless of your race. Although they are always so obsessed with race, that's not what the conservative pro-baby movement is right now. And the pro-family movement, it's just get married, have children, don't be afraid of that. That's what we keep saying. So this isn't some evil thing of, oh, they must just have white babies. Shut up. It's not even accurate. The spinning here, again, I love watching the spinning.
I'm just gonna jump right into it. Canceled is an anthem for those who are over being politically correct. And we're breaking down the wall of shame that it means to be canceled.
Now, I have seen the song Canceled be used as a hype video for Morgan Wallen, which I found very funny. Which I do think is funny because it could apply. But the song itself, especially the lyrics, are not some pro-conservative being canceled anthem. If anything, it's women being too girl bossy that are then being canceled. So it's not even pro-conservative in that respect.
Moving on to Wish List, let's take a moment for these lyrics.
I did, of course, I'll admit, I listened to the whole album just so I could hear it because I knew that there would be cultural conversations that came from it, which is exactly what's happening. But this particular song made me happy because it was the most, frankly, pro-family song that she's ever released. Which I knew when I heard it, that the left, her own people, will get angry because of it. And here it is, happening.
They want 3 dogs they call their kids. But I just want you. Have a couple kids, have the whole block looking like you.
Gasp. Horror. What is so bad about that? I mean, she's just talking about wanting a husband and then wanting his babies to play on the street that she now has with the basketball hoop. There's nothing controversial about that. Literally nothing. Not even scraps. I mean, there's nothing there.
And say that again. I want to have your white babies, and I actually want our entire neighborhood to be racially homogenous.
Again, she's going the race route. It's a wild misdirection.
She went through this entire thing with Trump, right?
They cannot see anything without the Trump filter. There must be this filter that goes on every piece of media they consume. It's the Trump derangement syndrome just playing out. It's like they can't break free from it and just enjoy a Taylor Swift album. Crazy.
About how she and her fan base did not like being called childless cat ladies. And now Taylor is calling y'all childless cat ladies.
I think it's because she was called that. So she said they wanted me to be that, but now I want to have children. She's not canceling the people that want the children that are actually dogs, but I think it was just because she was saying that's what she was being accused of, and now she's switching gears.
Because she's about to pop out some kids. And you know what's coming next? Taylor Swift line of baby product.
No, what's coming next is the Taylor Swift baby boom, which I'm very excited for, because while some people act like this to her desire for kids, I saw other videos of women being like, yeah, I finally want to date that guy. Yeah, I do kind of want to get married. Yeah, I do want kids. Because of Taylor, because again, she's so influential, whether you like it or not.
This all feels so blatantly obvious to me, the pipeline that we are sliding down, especially with her bestie. The same week that the album was announced, Lana Del Rey came out with this cover. This is where I'm going to add, the comment that Travis Kelce made about him being honored to play football for Orange Man. And this is where I'm also going to answer your question. Well, does she owe us her political opinions? She's just a pop star. Well, yes, she does. She is a white woman with one of the most massive platforms in our world today.
She owes her political opinions to these people. She doesn't. I'm surprised that girl even admitted it. Obviously, they do. It's like a cult. They need you to believe a certain way. Even though she doesn't. And the whole Travis Kelce comment was because he said, I think Trump was attending the Super Bowl, and Travis just simply said, well, I'm honored, but the president's going to be here. Not an endorsement of the president, but a recognition that he is the president. But I guess that's now making Travis Pfizer Travis somehow a conservative MAGA guy, even though he's not either. And unfortunately, the comments were all very much in agreement to this girl. She adapts to her boyfriends. She's in her conservative era. Her boyfriend, her fiance, is not a conservative. Now, we all know that Taylor has gone through many different eras, one of which was her country era, which is one that I want to quickly talk about today. First, you're a cowboy like me. Because you can't have your country era without having a pair of Tecovas, which I have here on set because I love them and I wear them all the time. Oh, they smell so good. I need them to be on my feet, frankly, so I can smell them all day. Tecovas makes quality Western boots for literally everyone, whether you are new to the era of wearing boots or you've been wearing them your whole life. The best part is that they're handcrafted with over 200 steps, so they feel broken in and comfortable from day one. So whether you're headed to the office and you wear them there, which I do all the time, or you're just headed out on a date night or maybe a casual hangout, Tecovas are perfect because you can dress them up or dress them down for any occasion. What I love most about my Tecovas, minus the fact that they smell amazing because they just smell like leather and I love that smell, but they are just so insanely comfortable. They also make so many different styles. If you want the tall boots, you want the medium boots, which are sort of, I would say these are medium. They make short ones. They also make other kinds of apparel, bags, and leather goods for those of you who don't want the cowboy boots, but you still want that Western flair. Tecovas truly has something for everyone. Now, right now, you can get 10% off at tecovas.com/comments when you sign up for email and text. That's 10% off at tecovas.com/comments, tecovas.com/comments. See the site for details. Now let me go put these cowboy boot back so we can get back to talking about Taylor Swift's pop era, which sadly doesn't have cowboy boots. I have seen no proof that Travis Kelce is conservative. Sorry. I should be the one being sad, but I'm laughing at the fact that everyone's mad, even though it's not true. But that is their MO. It is absolutely giving conservative trad wife. Calling Taylor Swift a conservative trad wife is literally wrong on every single level. Nor will she ever be a trad wife. Ever. There's a line in the song Canceled that said, "Did you girl boss too close to the sun?" And so someone said, "Did you girl boss too close to the sun? It feels like a hate crime." I think she's with the girl bosses here. But again, they're just trying to spin it. They're just, a hate crime, really? Canceled is a MAGA anthem. Well, you know what? Maybe we'll just make it that. We'll just make it our anthem. One person commented on the Lana part and said, "I hadn't seen the Lana Del Rey cover and my jaw literally dropped." This is what the cover looks like. It says Peak of Chic, Lana Del Rey. What is jaw dropping about? I mean, she looks stunning, but there's nothing controversial happening there. Is it because her hair is styled more like, I don't know, that like an 1800s style hair? Is that the issue here? We're grasping at straws, folks. We are grasping. I just want you. Have a couple kids, got the whole block looking like. I cannot tell you guys how much I am so glad that they're responding this way. It just fills me because it is just proof of the things that we have been saying for years. This girl said, "Get this trad wife propaganda away from me right now." In the background playing there is that song that we were just talking about where she says, "Couple kids, want them to look like you." Now, thankfully, the comments under this one were from some liberals becoming a little more centrist of sorts. They were saying, "Equating a desire to marry and have children with the right is pushing people into fascism." I think by that, they mean pushing more people to the right, which in their brain is fascism, which is wrong, but nonetheless. People now think liberalism and having a family is antithetical. Yes, they do. They do think that because of this, which it's not, and it's very dangerous for our future, which I agree. You can be staunchly progressive and love being a mother and adore your partner. Yes, but this is not the majority here saying this, and that's what's dangerous. Another person here who was tracking said, "Y'all do know there is a difference between happily married and trad wife, right?" No, they don't. Or they are not displaying that they understand that at all. And you betcha that it is dangerous for the future of their party. I mean, their party statistically cannot continue if leftist women equate the two things for too much longer. Their numbers of liberals who are having children are already going downhill rapidly. And that is a problem for them, but also for this country at large. And it's so funny to me because when they finally do see a liberal woman like Taylor Swift doing the opposite, maybe they should all celebrate it. Or at least just shh. But nope, the girls are gonna hate. And guys, of course.
I came across a video today of someone calling Taylor Swift's new album Republican coded.
It obviously is, and if you can't realize that, you're a victim of the media literacy crisis.
People like me who are just seeing this for what it is are now being accused of being media illiterate. The whole point is that no.
If only for the song Canceled, where she, the billionaire, paints herself as the victim of cancel culture. People rightfully pointed out the person she was dating did a racist thing. But beyond that, I mean, that's enough. That's obvious. Making, number one, that, and number two, an album about, like, an idealized form of, like, what is a typical American family, ideally.
They can't even say it's a good thing. Like the typical American family, which is just husband, wife, children. I mean, this is global. a global norm. It's okay to acknowledge that. You're not being a hater by acknowledging that, but they believe that they are so much that they can't. He couldn't even say that without putting quotation marks and being like, well, you know.
Living in a suburb, being in a monogamous relationship, finding peace and joy, and basically just kind of being a housewife.
Oh, just having peace and joy and living in the suburbs. Ugh. Again, every time you say this, it's pushing more people to actually desire that.
Those are Republican virtues. I mean, I'm not saying they're bad things, but they are things that Republicans and
I
conservatives
love it. I love it. I'm
and
sorry.
sometimes liberals use.
You are saying they're bad things because you're saying them with disgust while also saying that they are Republican. Therefore, everyone who is not a Republican then views them as bad, which is bad to do.
And ignoring that they are used in that way in our political climate is not like a gotcha moment. It is a lack of media literacy. So yeah, Taylor Swift's new album is clearly political, right? Even if it's not intentionally so.
She's quoted so many times being like, I just wanted to have fun with this album. This is just one that's like purely fun.
This is the record I've been wanting to make for a very long time. Bangers.
But there is no such thing as fun these days in this political media climate. Everything must be turned into this.
And it is political in exactly the politics that likes to hide itself, which is conservatism. Further, doing this album, which is basically like a victory lap that is bad.
We hide ourselves, but we're not the overt political ones. Like, that's what the left does. That's why even Taylor Swift isn't a public leftist. They don't have to hide themselves. They're welcome and accepted. We're not even hiding ourselves. We're just doing the norm. But that's seen as, like, secret. The fact that she wants kids, that means she's secret or conservative. No, that means she's normal. It's okay. And they just keep going. Here's another one.
One thing I do want to talk about, though, is Wish List, because I think that song is scary and I don't see a lot of people talking about it. The idea behind the song is like, oh, other people want so much stuff. I really just want you. I want to get married, I want to have kids, and I want the house with a driveway.
It's funny because this is like the only song from the album that I was like, oh, this is cute, but I bet they're gonna hate it.
Taylor Swift does read the room. She reads what is going on in culture and she tries to follow in suit, right? Yes, this is going on in her personal life, but she does have the ability to choose and to curate what parts of her life to highlight that will resonate with a given cultural moment.
Wanting kids and wanting to get married is resonating with a current cultural moment doesn't also make that even political. Like, that doesn't have to be political. That's why I laugh when I see this, because they shouldn't be making that political. But they keep doing that. I don't know why. It's not helping their cause at all.
This is part of what has always made her successful, is her ability to kind of like reflect and to like capture culture in an album. As the girl boss is rising, you have 1989, you have Poptimism, you have all these like powerful women surrounding you all the time.
Her girl boss was also rising here. She was becoming the girl boss. She was becoming more openly political here. So that makes sense with culture, but more so with her personal life, which is what's always mirrored in her songs.
And so I do think it's clear with this song that she is kind of embracing some of the trad elements of the moment.
No, of her life. At 35. She girl bossed to the sun. She did all that. And then she was miserable and sad. And then she would sing about that, which this girl acknowledged. But now she's just moving into a different chapter. Again, it doesn't have to be because the conservatives are in power.
Is it trad wife to want to get married? No, not in itself. I want to get married. But you are Taylor Swift. You do have like probably the most sway of how young women think in this country.
Correct, which is why I want to keep talking about her, because it does matter here. She does have a sway. I joke about this baby boom, but I believe it. Because what we consume matters so, so much. So when we have generations, not just one, there's probably at least 2 that listen to her music now, maybe 3 generations of women consuming all the girl boss stuff, then it mirrors culture, as in they are just focusing on girl bossing and that part of their life. This is literally, I think, the first time that Taylor has ever talked about children, physically wanting kids in her music. So it is a big deal in that respect. And it's a good thing for, again, society to have more babies, because we are declining very rapidly. Now, will Taylor Swift save that? I don't think so, but this attitude shift will help save that.
When you put out a song where you say, I don't really want achievements anymore, I want kids in a driveway, like that choice doesn't exist in a vacuum. It doesn't exist in a vacuum for any woman, let alone Taylor Swift. The thing in the song that also like really captures the contradictions of the trad wife are like when you look at women like Nara Smith or like Ballerina Farm, they're all about like, we as women, we want to tap into our like natural femininity. We want these like quiet lives at home. Meanwhile, they are running like business empires.
And these women have never once called themselves trad wives, ever. Not Nara Smith, not Ballerina Farm. Society has called them that because they do more traditionally female mother roles, but they are not calling themselves trad wives because they know that they are making, they're making money, they have jobs, it's not the same thing. Taylor Swift, not calling herself a trad wife, would laugh at that, I assume. Like, would heavily laugh, because obviously not. But I think what's interesting here is that she's saying, even with her success, What does she want at the end of the day? Family, a husband. Why? Because those things actually matter. More than maybe she thought in her 20s. We could analyze it in that respect and maybe learn something from her.
You can say, like, this is just a personal choice that she's made. Why can't people make personal choices? She is releasing an album to millions and millions of young women in a time where people cannot get abortions anymore.
That's why she can't talk about wanting kids. Because other women want abortions. They want the right to kill their kids. So how dare Taylor Swift sing about wanting kids when there are some women in some states that can't kill their kids anymore? Cry about it. Keep crying about it, frankly, because that's the one woman's right, and I say that in full quotation marks because that is not a right of women, but it's one right that should never come back on the marketplace. And I hope that there continues to be a stigma against it to the point that we learn just how horrific abortion is. That's a whole other conversation. But again, that's the only thing that they throw out here about women being, how dare she say that in a time where women have no rights? Again, they have tons of rights. The only right they don't have is to kill their children. And of course, that's where they always go back to. That's always the default because it's the only thing they have to talk about.
She's saying that she just wants to get married. Like, do you see what I'm saying here? Like, these things have context and these things do matter.
She's releasing it in a time where she has just spent the last 2 decades in the public, dating, being miserable, being in perpetual hookup culture, the low committal culture. And now she's at a time where she is 35. She is finally able to have the role of wife and mother that she has wanted all along. And if we want to talk about it, in this current culture, this current time, we're in a time where women are at record low happiness levels. I mean, record lows. Since the 1970s, I might add, which is the same time period that abortion was popularized, but that's besides the point. Anyways, we have all the rights, but the one to kill our babies. But oh, is it just sometimes, unfortunately, the character of women who be yelling at another empowered woman for finally finding a husband and wanting to glamorize the idea of settling down and wanting kids. She never once said that she is changing her career or stopping her career, but she is saying that even though having all of that, she still desires that life the most with a husband with kids, which is very telling. And if anything, we should be noticing that. Obviously, this was a huge conversation over on X as well, and this one woman said, "This isn't even about Taylor anymore. I genuinely feel like we're effed if young people have been convinced that getting married and having kids is inherently conservative." I agree with that. 100%, yes. Someone responded to that and said, "The left is eating its own. The overzealous leftists are why more people are regressing in their politics. What do you mean wanting to marry and have a family is only synonymous as the trad lifestyles and conservatives?" Again, I'm glad that people are seeing this because it is not helpful for society at all. The girl responded and said, "I am the left, and I think these people are falling for conservative propaganda and will end up identifying as conservatives if they eventually find love and want families because they've been taught you must be right-leaning to want those things." It's not conservative propaganda. I mean, who taught them that message? Feminists. That's the whole problem. Frankly, feminists like this, which I just saw going around of Emma Watson. Emma Watson, 35, says the pressure to get married is a violence against young people. A violence. The creator of this one said, "I don't think messaging like this helps." No, it doesn't. They have unfortunately created this monster that they no longer know how to control. It's such a toxic mindset that they do not know how to cure it without simply going back to and highlighting and encouraging tradition, which I fear that they're just unwilling to do. Now, it's not just some American Christian conservative tradition. It's just simply thousands-year-old traditions from, again, all over the world. But the loudest voices on their side are still doing the exact opposite. And labeling Taylor Swift, of all people, as a conservative trad wife for saying the slightest thing about family values is going to continue to push people further and further away from their cause. And as always, we will happily welcome them into our side with open arms. Because over here, there is no judgment or accusations of fascism for wanting to get married and have babies. Thank you so much for watching this episode of The Comment Section. For more content like this, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe to this channel. And for other content, you can follow me on X and my personal Instagram, as well as our comment section Instagram. I'll see you guys in the comments.